Hello, time to take a look at the forecast across Europe over the next few days. We've been seeing some very severe weather across southeastern parts of Spain and into the Balearics. You can see this whole mass of cloud here in a 12-hour period up to 7:30 on Wednesday morning. There were 70,000 lightning strikes across the Balearics, and there's more rain to come here, another 150 millimetres in the next day or so, not just affecting the Balearics, but also towards southeastern parts of Spain, so Murcia, Valencia, for example. Now, the snow that we've been seeing across the Balkans by Thursday has moved its way eastwards across Turkey, some sunshine developing behind, more heavy rain to come across southern Italy. We've got warnings in place for that. And of course, the rain, as I mentioned, across the Balearics and southeastern parts of Spain. Further north and west across Iberia, things are looking mainly dry with some sunshine. Fairly quiet, if rather cool, across the central area of Europe, but across the British Isles and across into Scandinavia, some wet and windy conditions as we head towards the end of the week, but also much milder. And that milder air will slowly start to sink its way a little bit further southwards on Friday. So temperatures starting to climb. Meanwhile, that heavy rain I mentioned across southern parts of Italy will start to work its way eastwards across towards the Balkans. So here are the city forecasts for the next 5 days. Fairly unsettled in London, things turning cooler again as the rain starts to clear. And it looks like things should stay fine and dry in Athens with things starting to warm up, but still fairly cold with some snow in Moscow. Bye-bye. Hello, we've had a lot of snowfall recently for the likes of New England and also California. There's more snow to come in this forecast. Let's talk about California first. Here's the earlier satellite picture, and this massive cloud will continue to provide more snow across southern, central parts of California in the next day or so, moving its way across the Sierra Nevada and eventually down towards the Four Corners. Meanwhile, we have a system in the Pacific Northwest, so that will bring some mountain snow across British Columbia, more like rain at lower level. And then we've got this cold plunge of air coming out of northern Canada. That's going to provide lake effect snow, particularly for places like Lake Erie and Lake Ontario in the days ahead. So let's look down at the western side of Canada and the USA. As I mentioned, snow across British Columbia, moving into Alberta as well. Some more heavy snow across central and southern parts of California. Rain on its southern flank. Some of that's going to be really heavy. Quick look at the city forecast for the next couple of days. Dry in Vancouver. Any rain will start to clear away, and that rain eventually easing away from Seattle as well. So as I mentioned, it's Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, most likely to see the biggest falls of snow in the days ahead. That cold plunge of air coming out of northern Canada. As we head further south down the eastern seaboard, down into Florida, things are looking largely dry. Could you see a little bit more cloud across the far south of Florida? But it looks like Buffalo could see further snow in the days ahead. It remains dry in New York, turning much colder in Montreal. Hello, we'll get the forecast for Central America, Mexico and the Caribbean in just a moment's time. First to South America, let's start with the earlier satellite picture. Two distinct areas of cloud, really. The first across the southeast of Brazil, and also this area of cloud running up through Paraguay and into Bolivia. And it's this area of cloud and rain which will continue as we go through Wednesday. Plenty of showers once again across Colombia, Venezuela, into parts of Peru, running down through the Amazon basin. And that area of cloud I talked about is some fairly potent showers across the far southeast of Brazil and never too far away from Rio in the days ahead. Looks like much of Argentina should be mainly dry, one or two showers and some warmth and sunshine here. An area of high pressure across much of Chile, keeping any frontal systems fairly weak. So some rain into the far south of Chile. Further north it stays dry and warm. Could see a few showers pushing into Buenos Aires over the coming days. Eventually those showers will move away from Rio and the sunshine returns. Fairly quiet day across Mexico on Wednesday. Could see a few sharp showers, just clipping Honduras and Nicaragua. One or two for the far east of Cuba, and also a couple of sharp ones across Hispaniola. Somewhat hit and miss, and many will stay largely dry. So we'll finish the forecast with a quick look at the city forecast across the Caribbean for the next 5 days, where for most it's mainly dry with a good deal of sunshine. That's all from me. Bye-bye. Hello, we'll get the forecast for the Middle East in just a moment's time. First to Africa, and let's start with the earlier satellite picture because there is a lot of activity through the Arabian Sea and across the western side of the Indian Ocean. Keeping a close eye on all of these systems because there's the potential that a few of them could develop into something more potent, bringing some very heavy rain to the likes of Madagascar and Somalia. Also, this system across central areas of South Africa, bringing cooler, much wetter conditions, a relief from wildfires, but with the rain falling onto some very dry ground, the potential for some severe flooding in places. Quick look at the city forecast for the next 5 days. Wet and cool in Joburg. More rain to come in Nairobi. It stays dry and very warm, if not hot, in Cape Town. Further north across Africa, there is a chance we could see some heavy showers to the far north of Morocco in Casablanca. It's looking dry, pleasant enough. Temperatures here in the high teens, low 20 Celsius. More rain, though, to come for Lusaka. We've got outbreaks of rain and mountain snow working their way eastwards through Syria into northern parts of Iran and Iraq. Keep an eye on what's happening in the Arabian Sea, because that's going to bring some strong winds and potentially some heavy rain to the far south of Oman and Yemen as we go through Thursday, Friday and then into Saturday. And as I mentioned, that could start to bring some impacts across into Somalia as well. So we need to keep a close eye on the southern areas of the Middle East. Could pick up a few heavy showers in Kuwait as well. Bye-bye. Hello, time to get the forecast for South and Central Asia, and I'll begin with the earlier satellite picture. Two distinct areas of cloud to pick out. The first in the Arabian Sea, gradually working its way westwards in the next 24 to 48 hours, but initially still some gusty winds and some heavy rain before it pulls away. Also, this large area of cloud across the far south of India into Sri Lanka and the Maldives will continue to bring some heavy falls of rain through Thursday, embedded thunderstorms. And we still have warnings in place across Tamil Nadu, rain warnings for some heavy falls of rain here through Thursday. Gusty winds too through the Bay of Bengal. Could see some problems with mist and fog for some northeastern states of India. Across to Central Asia, could see some snowfall for the far north of Kazakhstan as we move down into Afghanistan and Pakistan. A lot of dry weather with the temperatures starting to rise as we get further south. Mainly dry across much of Gujarat, Rajasthan on Thursday. You can see the bright blue and occasionally green colours giving an indication of some heavy rain for the Maldives, Sri Lanka and Tamil Nadu as well. So working our way north and eastwards, back up into Bangladesh, northeastern states of India, things are mainly dry, but as I mentioned, could see some problems with mist and fog. Plenty of sunshine and hot in Mumbai, more rain to come in Colombo in the days ahead. And it's looking mainly dry in Karachi too. Temperatures here in the high 20 Celsius. Rain will start to ease from Chennai. Hello, we'll get the forecast for Australia and New Zealand in just a moment's time. First to the Asia Pacific, where Typhoon Kamuri has been battering the Philippines in recent days. Here it is on the earlier satellite picture. No longer a typhoon, now a severe tropical storm, and weakening all the while as it stays to the northwest of the Philippines. What it is doing, though, is providing extra moisture to this frontal system, so potentially some very heavy rain across southeastern parts of China into Taiwan, and eventually that rain moving up into Japan in the days ahead. Cold northerly winds keeping temperatures below freezing across a large swathe of Korea. Away from this area of rain, much of China is mainly dry, and Indochina too. Could you see some of that rain clipping parts of Vietnam? A good scattering of heavy showers and thunderstorms through Indonesia and Malaysia. Quick look at the city forecasts in the days ahead. Things turning a little bit less cold in Seoul. We'll hang on to the sunshine here. Lots of sunshine continuing in Bangkok. So across to Australia, where heat wave conditions continue across much of the country, away from the far southeast where it stays on the cool side, although things starting to briefly warm up here as we head towards the end of the weekend and into next week. Frontal systems continuing to batter the South Island of New Zealand. Strong winds and more heavy rain here in the days ahead. And some of that rain will be moving up into the far south of the North Island. So Wellington seeing some rain. Things briefly getting much hotter in Melbourne in the days ahead.